Hello, it has been a hot minute since I've made a video. This video you're about to watch, actually, I filmed in February, and I just never got around to editing it or posting it. So we're doing that now. I'm actually not even 100% sure I remember everything I said in it. So I guess at this moment, I have not edited the video, and I'm excited to see what comes out. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Hey! How y'all doing?
So I have not made a video in a while, and I have no excuse. In today's video, I'm going to be going through my physical TBR on Goodreads, and I'm going to see which has the highest average rating of all the books and which has the lowest average rating of all the books. And we're going to do that little challenge because I feel like I just need something to, get me back into the YouTube video making, and I love doing challenge videos, and so I'm really excited for this one because I feel like it'll make me read books that I didn't have high up on my TBR in my brain. So let's see which one is the highest and the lowest. So we have here my entire physical TBR, where I will now look to see which one has the highest average rating. So I can't read Kingdom of Ash because that's 7th in the Throne of Glass series, and I've only read the first one. So I also can't read Empire of Storms or Queen of Shadows. So the highest rated one is Heaven's Officials Blessings, Volume 1. I have not read any Danime, so I'm so excited to get to this. And now it is time to do the lowest average rating, which is Love in the Time of Serial Killers. I've heard only bad things about this, so I'm not surprised it has the lowest rating. I actually bought this book just on a whim because I saw it in a bookstore and got really excited. It looked really cool. I really like the cover a lot, only to watch a video where someone actually did not like this book at all. And I really trust that person's opinion on books. So we'll see how this goes. Either way, they're both fairly short books, so I'm happy that none of them were like, something crazy like War and Peace or anything like that. But those will be the two books that we'll be reading. So these are the two books that we're going to be reading in the video for today. I am so excited to be getting to Heaven Officials Blessings. I have heard amazing things about this, and I literally can't wait. It's my first anime. As I said, I'm just so excited. And then Love in the Time of Serial Killers. Honestly, I'm okay with reading this because it has been on my physical TBR for a while, because right after I bought it was when I saw that negative review. And so it's really put me off of reading it, but also I bought it new, so I can't bring myself around to donating it yet or selling it. So I'm happy that finally I'll be able to read this book and decide for myself if I like it. And then if I like it, great, awesome. And then if I don't like it, I can finally get rid of it, because at least I know I bought it new, but at least if I don't like it, I feel okay about getting rid of it after I've already read it. I have a real issue with getting rid of books that I haven't read that I don't think I'm going to like. This will allow me to either love the book, that would be amazing, or allow me to accept its departure from my home. Anyway, I'm very excited to get to these. Let's go. In case you guys ever wonder what I have on my screen 90% of the time during the day, it has been lately a live stream of Seoul. It is literally just their highway. It's by the UN Village Seoul live cam, and it plays lo-fi music, but I have it turned off right now. But this is literally what I have. I literally watch the sunrise in Seoul almost every single day. It's very beautiful. Today is very overcast, but yesterday it was absolutely stunning. So this is what I'll be watching the whole time I'm reading. I think for my mental health, I'll start off with Love in the Time of Serial Killers. I think it'll be a good idea to start with a book that I might not like as much, but then end the video with a book that I hopefully am gonna really like.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
So that's the order I'm going to be reading today. Yeah, and then we'll start reading, and I'll let you guys know what I think about it. Let's go. It has been a while since I filmed that last clip because I've been reading this book. It has put me in the biggest slump. I can't even lie to you guys. I don't like this book. Honestly, if it weren't for this video I'm making, I might have DNF'd this book. That is how much I don't like it. And I don't DNF books, barely ever. This book is about the main character, Phoebe, whose father has passed away. And so she moves into his house to help get it ready to sell, go through his things, stuff like that. And then she sees the neighbor to her father, and his name is Sam. When she first meets Sam, she is moving her stuff from the car into the house while she is staying there to get it ready to sell. And he is barefoot in the middle of the night outside. So immediately she goes, "You must be a serial killer," which would make the book very interesting if he was. I'll let you guys decide. Oh, not my bookmark falling out. I have no idea where I am in this book. Wait, so she thinks he must be a serial killer. She then sees him the next evening coming out of his garage covered in dark liquid and with this weird suit on. So she goes, he must be a serial killer. She then gets to know her neighbor a little bit better, and as you can see, it's called Love in the Time of Serial Killers. It is a romance. Things ensue. I will say, the main character, I think she's real. She's very real. However, I don't want to read about a character that acts like this. She is so rude. She really, a lot of the time, is not thinking about anyone but herself. She's very selfish. All in all, when I'm reading a romance book, I don't want to spend half the time just wishing the main character was a better person. I have about 100 pages left. I know there's probably going to be some sort of character development. There already has been a little bit. I would hope that there would be with, you know, a main character who's so insufferable. Also, the main male love interest just takes it. He's so golden retriever energy that it's very unbelievable. With how she treats him, it's very unbelievable that someone would react in the way he reacts. He's basically, she'll say something terrible and he goes, oh. And then she goes, oh, I'm sorry. And he goes, okay, great. Like, it's so, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I will finish it for the video, but let's just say I can see why this is one of the lowest rated books on the TBR. I don't know if I would be reading another book by this author. I'm not in love with this book. However, the cover, stunning. This cover is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I have been trying to finish this. It's been, I think, almost 2 weeks now, which is crazy. I've been slowly, every time I read, I'll set a timer for like an hour just because I'm like, I'm one step closer to finishing it. Needless to say, I cannot wait to get to Heaven Official's Blessings. I need some good literature in my life because this is taking everything out of me right now. But I will finish it for you guys and I'll report back how the ending is. I'm sure, I can't imagine I'm going to feel differently about it, but you never know. Okay. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Also, on a completely unrelated side note, I just want to complain. I worked out yesterday and I can barely move my upper body today. Don't forget to stretch, kids. Do not forget to stretch and warm up and cool down. That's all I gotta say about that. I am suffering. Also, I will just say, I think the only thing that could save this book for me is if the main character turns out to be a serial killer. Oh, also, I forgot to mention that the main character is talking about how, like, she thinks this neighbor is stalking her and stuff like that, and, like, he's this creep weirdo serial killer guy. Meanwhile, she's literally stalking him. She is literally being the creeper. I don't know if that's intentional. It's probably intentional. However, all these things, she's like, he probably, you know, follows victims and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, she's literally looking outside her window to see when he leaves the house and gets home. And she's like, she's following, oh, he opened his garage. Let me go look at him. The call is coming from inside the house. As you can probably tell, it is a different day. And the question is, did I finish this book or did this book finish me? This book put me in the biggest reading slump. It's not even that it's a bad book. It's just, it's so not for me. One thing I will say about this book that's positive is there's a ton of references in it, which I found really enjoyable to read most of them because I understood most of them. However, if you don't understand the references that they're putting out, 90% of this book, the fun in it is the references. So I'm somebody that used to absolutely be obsessed with true crime. I'm somebody that used to be obsessed with true crime. However, I realized it was giving me a bit of anxiety to always be listening and consuming true crime content. So I did know quite a few references in the book. However, there were some that escaped me. I don't know everything about true crime. However, I feel like there are so many references that no one's going to know each one she puts in this book. Some are kind of obscure that even I didn't know, and I'm someone that used to consume a lot of true crime. Overall, I'm giving this book a 2 out of 5 stars. I just think it's not for me. I think if you love true crime, you might find a lot of enjoyment in a lot of the references they put in it. However, overall, I just think I didn't really connect with the characters. The main character, I really did not get along with. The male main character, I found him to just be a pushover. I didn't really love this book overall. However, maybe someone out there will. If you love true crime and you love a bit of silly romance, another thing is there were spicy scenes that started off very spicy, which was fun to read. However, it ended with a closed door. So it was a fade to black kind of moment. So it showed the beginning of the spice and then fade to black. So I didn't like that aspect. I think I would either prefer it to have none or all of it. I didn't like that it was kind of in the middle, because I'm like, you might as well explain everything that happened if you're already explaining half of what happened. I did not enjoy this book. However, I am glad it's done, and I will be giving it a new home, and I'm excited. I hope someone picks it up that will love it. The next book I will be reading is Heaven Official's Blessings. I am so excited to get to this book because it is in a genre I have never read before. So there is no expectations. Zero expectations. However, it is the highest rated book on my TBR. Therefore, a little bit of expectations, I guess. More than I had with the last book, let's just say that. Also, found it hilarious that one of the people that worked at Indigo, where I bought this, put a little recommendation. It says, if you love this book, to read Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, which I have heard of, never read, obviously, but definitely something to check out if I end up enjoying this book. So this book, the description is: a god fallen, a ghost risen, born the crown prince of a prosperous kingdom, Xi Liang. I need to look up the pronunciations, I think. When I come back to you, I'll know the pronunciation, okay? Was renowned for his beauty, strength, and purity. His years of dedicated study and noble deeds allowed him to ascend to godhood. But those who rise may also fall, and fall he does, cast from the heavens and banished to the world below. 800 years after his mortal life, Xi Liang has ascended to godhood for the 3rd time, angering most of the gods in the process. To repay his debts, he is sent to the mortal realm to hunt down violent ghosts and troublemaking spirits who prey on the living. Along his travels, he meets a fascinating and brilliant San Lang, a young man with whom he feels an instant connection. Yet San Lang is clearly more than he appears. What mysteries lie behind that carefree smile? I can't wait! I just read, a romance that I wasn't super into. I'm really hoping I can get into this romance. I'll let you know. Bye! Hello guys! New day, starting the new book. I've already read the prologue and a bit into the first chapter, and I will say I was mispronouncing the genre. So I do apologize. It's Dan May. I was saying Dana May. It's Dan May. Dan May. So now that we've got that done, so I am very excited to get further into it and explore a little deeper. So far, it was not what I expected. There was swearing in the prologue, which I totally was not expecting. I thought, I saw this and I thought like very, regal fantasy. And here they have swearing just like in the exposition. So I thought that was hilarious. I'm so excited to read more of this. I do know it is a long series. I looked up how many books it was, and I know it's 8 books, and that is kind of daunting. But, the way you read through series is you start one book at a time. I'm going to read that now, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I am loving Heaven Official's Blessing. I think earlier I was calling it Heaven Official's Blessings, which turns out this S at the end is not for the blessing part, just for the official. I am loving this. The 2 main characters have just met. I don't know, it just feels like it's got me giggling and kicking my feet, and there's some scenes, honestly, that I'm a little surprised by how gruesome they are and like graphic, like spooky, but I also kind of love it, like just because I wasn't expecting that from this book at all. I was expecting like this sort of sappy romance love story, having no idea what it was about, to be fair. And instead I'm getting like these spooky ghosts and creatures, and oh, Callie has something she'd like to say. Okay, that's what she wants to say. But yeah, so I am absolutely loving it, and I'm having such a fun time. I am halfway through right now, and I can't wait to finish it, honestly. I was reading it during sprints earlier, which I do on my Twitch, which I have linked down below if you're interested. I do like a lot of gaming, but lately I've been doing some sprints where people can co-work. It's called co-working on Twitch, so people... Oh, yeah? Oh, okay. It's called co-working, and basically it's just people can let me know what their goals are, and I'll write down their goals for them, and then as they accomplish them I can sort of check it off for them. And it's just a way to hold yourself accountable, and also to body double, which is really good, especially for people that are neurodivergent. So I've been having a lot of fun doing that. Lately, the past 2 weeks, I've been only reading this. I know it seems like I haven't been reading it that long, but guys, I've been making this video for a very long time, but the ADHD is ADHDing, and it's very hard because I am having trouble sitting and doing one thing for long periods of time. I'll read like 10 pages of this and be like, okay, next thing. So that's why this video has been in creation for months. And it doesn't look like that because I'm trying to work my magic and make it seem like I haven't been reading for months, but I have. So if you see a lot of like fit changes, that is why. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it. Gonna keep reading it. And yeah, that's my update for now. I'm really excited to see how this book ends. Kind of curious to know like if there is, because there's not one plot that I feel like is only for this book. I feel like the plot of it kind of goes throughout. I feel like it's gonna go throughout the whole series. I could be completely wrong. I'm very curious to see how this book is gonna end, how they're gonna sort of wrap it up in preparation for book 2. So yeah, I will let you guys know, but I can already tell like this book being the top rated on my TBR, yeah, it makes sense. The other book I read, Love in the Time of Serial Killers, being the worst rated book on my TBR, yeah, it makes sense. So at least it makes sense. And I'm liking the books that I'm supposed to like, and I didn't like the books I wasn't supposed to like. But yeah, I'll keep reading and I'll let you guys know how it goes. Oh my gosh, I've done it. I've finally finished Heaven Official's Blessing. Listen, I feel like, I hope I don't get in trouble if I say this, I didn't love this book, and that's not saying anything bad about the book itself. I think a huge part of the reason why I didn't like it was because I read it over the course of, I think, a month and a half, and so inevitably some things that were in my brain at the beginning of the book were no longer in my brain by the end of the book. Therefore, I think I will give this book probably 3 stars. I want to say 2.5, but I feel like I'm going to get yelled at if I say 2.5. This just wasn't for me. I don't think I read it at the right time. I think if I had read this a bit faster, maybe, and without any other books in between, maybe I would have enjoyed it more. But overall, I don't know. I was hoping for more of a romance in the book, whereas maybe that comes in later books. I'm not sure. I know there are 7 other books in the series besides this one, and so I can assume things like that probably happen throughout the series. However, it didn't happen in this book, and that was kind of a letdown for me. I was kind of expecting it. I was kind of hoping for it. That being said, some of the horror descriptions of some of the beasts and monsters were incredible, and some of the pictures were disgusting and gross, and I kind of like that aspect of it, the little bit of horror that they infused with it, and I felt that really added to the fantasy element of it a lot. Overall, I just don't really think it's my book personally, and that's nothing bad on the book. That is all me. And thus, we have come to the end of the video where we have read the lowest rated book on my TBR as well as the highest rated book on my TBR. In the end, I definitely did like Heaven Official's Blessing more than I liked Love in the Time of Serial Killers. See, I can't even remember the name. I did enjoy this book more, so I can see why it was rated higher than this. However, I just felt like neither one really resonated with me, which is kind of a bummer, but hey, it happens, you know? Thank you guys very much for watching this video. If you've got to the end, I'm so impressed. It feels like it took me 2.5 months to get to the end of this video because it literally did. Even though you guys didn't see everything, that's how long it took. If you enjoy my content, consider subscribing, also liking, and if you comment, let me know some other challenges you'd like me to try because I do like doing the challenges. And obviously now I have different books in the top spot on my TBR as well as the lowest rated spot on my TBR. So I could do this same video again and we get different books. But if you have any ideas for different challenges, let me know because that's my favorite to film and I feel the most motivated to film them. If you enjoy me chatting and want to see more of it, I don't make that many YouTube videos because it does take me a while to film and edit as well as read books. However, I am streaming 3 times a week on Twitch, which I will have the link to down below. It's the same as my username here. It's just Amanda's Buns. There, currently I am playing The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, and I'm loving that. And then every Wednesday I do co-working. So basically just people come and bring the tasks that they're wanting to do and we just hold each other accountable while we get them done with 25 minutes of work and then a 5-minute break. So that's always really fun and it feels really productive. So if you are thinking of any of that sounds of interest, then feel free to click the link below and follow, and then you can see when I go live. Also, I have an Instagram. I don't know if I've talked about it before, but I made an Instagram specifically for my YouTube as well as my Twitch, so that will also be linked below. It is just Amanda's Buns again. We are Amanda's Buns across the board, which is great. And yeah, I hope you guys have a really good rest of your day or night, and thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!